Today, on Starfield Essentials, your weekly Starfield news report. Ship vendor framework updated. Robin Locke updated. More permanent POI quests. Antimatter grenades equals small boom. All alien creatures in one video. Oblivion has more loading screens than Starfield. And do paid mod creators think it's worth it? All stories have chapter markers for easy navigation and links in the description for sourcing. My name is Richard. Let's get started. Ship Vendor Framework updated. I've been using Ship Vendor Framework for over a year. It's a key mod for me because it allows modders to add ships to the game that can be sold by vanilla and modded ship vendors. Ship Vendor Framework by Rux616 is available on Creations and Nexus Mods. There is a separate Shattered Space patch on Creations. If you run this mod on PC via Nexus Mods, there is a full mod menu that lets you select any patches needed for other mods. One of the differences with this new update is that you no longer need to install many additional patches. These were previously the ones listed on the screen now. I was able to remove these patches in Creations and Nexus Mods and load old saves without any issues. Rux616 also added a bunch of gameplay settings controlling how Ship Vendor Framework works in-game. These affect the reappearance of unique ships, the amount of credits that ship vendors have in their pockets, the number of ships in the random category that a vendor will offer, and a ton of improvement and compatibility changes. I recommend that anyone who wants to build their own ship and make it available as a mod use Ship Vendor Framework. This is the approach I use in my tutorial, Keep Your Ship with Creation Kit. Ship Vendor Framework is an example of a gameplay mod that simply improves a core mechanic of the game without changing the nature of the game. Thank you, Rux616, for your devotion to this mod. I enjoy what you bring to the game. If you are enjoying this video, please consider subscribing. Almost half of you watching are subscribed, but half are not. If you want to tell the world and YouTube that you enjoy positive and honest Starfield content, subscribing is a great way to do that. Thank you. Next, Robin Locke updated. Modder Unoctium has made some changes to one of my constant companions. Robin Locke by Unoctium is available for 500 credits on Creations. The 1.12 update history includes the following. Fixed an issue with a report of a black screen showing up in the Armistice archives. Fixed an issue where a wrongly set variable can lead to Robin's quest topics not being accessible. Added an option whether or not to start Robin's third quest. For me, this third update is the key issue. You may remember that I mentioned a creation called I Paid for a Pilot by Syberghost in a recent video. Now that the main Robin Locke creation is updated, you don't need I Paid for a Pilot. If you select the appropriate gameplay setting, Robin should stay with you. Next, more permanent POI quests. In several videos I've talked about the permanent POI series of mods by Polvovoss. Over the last month, Polvovoss has been adding to a new mod that builds on previous work. Permanent POIs Silent Echoes by Polvovoss is available on Nexus Mods. This mod adds a set of quests that use locations and assets created in the Permanent POI Darkness Beckons and Evil Beyond mods. It seems that the best way to play Silent Echoes is to not have visited any of the locations associated with Darkness Beckons and Evil Beyond. Rather, read the hints in the mod description to start one of the 5 or more quests provided by Silent Echoes. I made the mistake of trying Silent Echoes after already hunting down the locations in Darkness Beckons and Evil Beyond. Overall, though, I really like what Polvovoss is doing in the Permanent POI series. At the very least, if you're on PC, I highly recommend installing the original Permanent POI mod. This will place dozens of Starfield POIs in set locations so that you can be sure to find them. I hope that at some point Polvovoss brings these mods to Creations so that everyone can play them. They're a great way to bring life to otherwise stale vanilla locations. They also offer a way for players to find each POI at least once in the game. Next, Antimatter grenades equals small boom. One of my earliest videos dates from February 2024 when I tried doing an all grenade run. This was a really fun video, so when I tried this next creation it made me rethink that strategy. Antimatter grenades by Disnovis is available on Creations and Nexus Mods. When you think of an antimatter grenade, you'd imagine something that would absolutely devastate an area. Maybe you'd have to throw it a really long way to escape the destruction. Maybe you'd have to throw it into a room and hide behind cover. Apparently these are the weakest antimatter grenades in the settled systems. Sure, if you detonate one right in front of you and your health is low, you might not survive. Otherwise, these are too weak. I'm with this commenter on Nexus Mods. If you're going to introduce antimatter grenades, they should be the most destructive weapon in the game. Forget about balance. This mod is made for destruction, or hopefully it will be. Next, all alien creatures in one video. Thanks to a Reddit comment, I learned of an amazing video from early 2024 by YouTuber Critical Chris. It's over 2 hours long, and it documents all of the alien creatures found in vanilla Starfield. I can't begin to imagine the work needed to create this content. The best part of the video is that it lets viewers truly appreciate the work that went into bringing these creatures to the game. In many encounters in the game, creatures are hostile. It's difficult to walk up to them and admire the artistry that brought them to life. At least with this video, you can see details on each and every Starfield creature. This video makes me want to make better use of the incredible Xenomaster mod by GhostRider231. It also makes me wonder if someone could build a sort of zoo or planet where all the creatures could be found. This might destroy the creation engine, but it would be fun to be able to enjoy viewing all of these magnificent creatures in one place. Next, Oblivion has more loading screens than Starfield? I'd like to highlight another video, this one by YouTuber Renfail. He recently fired up Starfield again, and he's been engaging with the trolls on his channel. I tell you, this guy is way more gutsier than I am when it comes to talking to people on his channel.
Okay, this is the crux of that discussion. In Skyrim and Oblivion, the loading screens are fine, but I have a problem with the loading screens in Starfield. So I said, okay, let's take that theory and put it to the test. Why is it that people think that it's okay for Oblivion and Skyrim and Fallout 4 to have loads and loads and loads of loading screens, but it's not okay for Starfield? And this is where you're going to have people who move the goalpost. Oh, loading screen. Oh no. But I thought Oblivion and Skyrim and Fallout 4 didn't have loading screens, guys. I thought these games were innocent and perfect and the best games Bethesda's ever made, and they didn't have loading screens, because Starfield's the only game that had loading screens, right?
His new video shows that Oblivion has more loading screens than Starfield. Now, I think it would be interesting to do a different sort of measurement. Perhaps count loading screens for core game mechanics like completing a fetch quest. That might be an interesting alternative to just counting loading screens per location. As you can see in my comment on his video, I think loading screens are a meme that the Bethesda anti-fandom uses to signal to their tribe how clever they think they are. In programming terms, they are the price we pay for having a world where you can interact with any object at any time and have the game engine remember everything about it. If you don't want that level of detail, that's okay. There's plenty of other games with different mechanics. And finally, do paid mod creators think it's worth it? Redditor Dorator posted a thought-provoking question to the Starfield Mods subreddit this past week. When you have created a paid mod, was it worth it? Both in terms of financial outcome versus time, and in terms of user feedback you received. I asked because I just want to get an impression of the general feeling. The Starfield Mods subreddit has a reputation for being anti-paid mod, and has an annoying rule that any discussion with any link to paid modding needs a paid mod flair. I'll link the post in the video description because it's worth hearing from the modders themselves. Here's a sampling of what a few had to say. I didn't see a single paid creator say that they did not like the system. I'm not saying that the creation system is perfect. However, those who are selling paid creations appear to want to continue doing so. I think that's great, partly because it provides value to players, and partly because it provides revenue to creators. I've read several books on the history of the gaming industry. I recommend all 3 of these by Jason Schreier. If you want to better understand how games are made, or not made, these books are invaluable. One of the biggest challenges for studios is how to fund and sustain game development. Investors and studio executives have a strong desire for subscription or recurring revenue. Players would prefer to pay once and get free updates forever. Xbox Game Pass is a sort of middle ground, although with the recent price hikes, it seems to be a better value only for those who play a ton of different games on a regular basis. I think that paid mods are a good way to provide revenue for games like Starfield. If you only want to pay for the base game, you can do that, and download free creations or Nexus Mods as desired. If you're willing to pay for paid creations, you're essentially subsidizing game development for all of the one-and-done players. Those who buy paid creations are contributing revenue to the studio and to mod developers. Remember that many paid creators also release free creations and mods. Their paid creations in some ways support their free creations and mods. The more money Bethesda makes from paid creations, the greater incentive they have to support the game. The more money modders make from paid creations, the greater incentive they have to make more and better mods. If you want what appear to be the financial arrangements for doing so, check out the link in the description. I understand there's a loud player base that completely rejects paid mods because they believe it undermines the supposed spirit of modding. They point to big projects like Fallout London and say, you can have mods without paying. Well, I could point to big projects like Star Wars Genesis and say Starfield has that too. Let's remember, Fallout is a 10-year-old game, and Fallout London took 5 years to develop. Anyway, I think modders who want to build paid creations are doing so, and they're happy about it. Those of us who want to buy them can do so, and those who don't want to don't have to. Thank you to all modders of all types. And thank you to all my subscribers. Please consider subscribing to show YouTube that you enjoy positive and honest Starfield content. Special thanks to all channel members. I hope you're enjoying our private Discord server. If you'd like to know more about membership, click the join button on the channel. There's no obligation. I use your contributions to pay for drives for capturing footage and to buy creations to review. What have you been doing in Starfield? Your insights make this channel a place for positive and honest discussion of the game. In addition to videos, I also post to the community tab for this channel on a daily basis. If you subscribe, you'll see these posts in your YouTube feed. If you made it to this part of the video, please leave a comment with the word update. Also, remember to ring the bell icon and select all notifications. Check out my other videos, and please tell your friends about the channel. My name is Richard. I will see you in the Starfield.